भारत में 2500 वर्षों से बौद्ध धर्म का वजूद है और देश के हर कोने में बौद्ध परंपरा और संस्कृति फल फूल रही है। लेकिन भारत के टेलीविजन इतिहास में पहली बार नोबल विजडम यानी शराब संगपो के नाम से शुरू हुआ है एक टेलीविजन कार्यक्रम जो भारत की बौद्ध परंपरा और बौद्ध धर्मावलंबियों की ताकत को उजागर करता है। इसी मकसद से पेश है एक और एपिसोड। कार्यक्रम में अगले कुछ दिनों तक आप जानकारी पाएंगे हिमालय क्षेत्र की बेजोड़ पारंपरिक चिकित्सा पद्धति सोआ रिगपा के बारे में।
So today I am going to present you how to release stress and tension in soa rigpa. So before we go through the stress and tension, how to release that, I think first thing we have to understand is that what is stress and what is tension according to soa rigpa or Tibetan science of healing. Though there are many contexts when we talk about stress, physical stress, mental stress, but here we are in the context of mental stress and tension. So when we talk about stress and tension, it deals with the mental factor. It's a mental problem, it's a mental suffering. When we say about feelings, aggregates of feelings, there are three aggregates of feelings: suffering, happiness and neutral. So here we are in the context of suffering, and again suffering can be divided into physical suffering and mental suffering. So one can also say that here when we talk about stress, although the root cause is will come from mental factors, but it ultimately disturbs our physical body. According to soa rigpa or Tibetan medicine, body and mind are interrelated. Then when we talk about stress, it is very much related with the mind, and when we talk about the physical level, it is very much related with the wind energy or lung energy. Lung energy is the seat of our mind, our consciousness. So when there is too much pressure on the mind, what it happens? It gives pressure to its seats, the lung energy or the wind energy. So when this wind energy gets disturbed, and there are certain kind of symptoms physically comes out. So it proves that we cannot separate the body and mind. They are quite interrelated. Mind and body. Mind affects the body and the body affects the mind. So let's say stress, put in simple words, let's say how stress comes. There are different levels of stress. Suppose I experienced, let's say, yesterday when I was told to present how to release stress and tension in soa rigpa, I really had a stress. I was thinking how to present, how would be my presentations, how would it be. There is little stress in the mind, although I prepare for it, but still there is stress. There is little pressure in the mind, and with this pressure in the mind, it gives little pressure to our body, my body. Little muscle tension comes. Then I thought, oh, if you are going to speak on how to release and stress and tensions, if you suffer by yourself, how are you going to present? So I thought, I took a long breath, very long breath, and I think, then I changed my mind. Oh, I should not be so stressful because I have the responsibility to help others to release their stress and tension. So why there is point to be so stressful, too much pressure in your mind. So let's dedicate your presentation for the other beings who are very stressful. So in this way of thinking, it really helps me. It really gives me energy, positive energy. Otherwise, in other way, if I have so much of feeling that, oh, I would be in the television and people will know me, in this way, if I self-centered, if I think about my fame and all these things, then certainly my stress, I can't control my stress.
कैसे दूर हो आपके जीवन की मुश्किलें, कैसे सवरे आपका करियर, कैसे सफल हो आपका हर काम, क्या कहते हैं आपकी किस्मत के सितारे, जानिए सटीक होने वाली बौद्ध भविष्यवाणियां।
Namaste and Tashi Dilek. 27 November, Saturday, 21st day of the 10th lunar month. The elemental combination is earth-fire. Inauspicious combination. Such elements has burning energy to generate suffering. Doing Namgo is there, so avoid inviting guests at your home. In this day, Seksi and BT are also there, so avoid performing and undergoing Tarsic therapies like moxibustion, bloodletting and golden needle therapy. Bumtong or empty waste is at north direction, so avoid all important activities, especially funeral procession while facing north. 28th November, Sunday, 22nd day of the 10th lunar month. The elemental combination is fire, water, the combination of death and has the energy of bringing suffering. The day is Thonginamgo. However, the day is not favorable to start business or to engage in new business assignment. Bumtong or empty waste is at north direction, so avoid all important activities, especially funeral procession while facing north. The Lord of Earth or Sada Simbung moves from east to west direction during 9 p.m. to till 4 a.m. in the morning, so journey from east to west is not good. Sada Yingkung is also there, so avoid marriage, funerals, shows and concert and borrowing or refunding debts. 29th November, Monday, 23rd day of the 10th lunar month. The elemental combination is fire, water, the combination of death and has the energy of bringing suffering. This day is unfavorable for all undertakings because it weakens vital energy. Pui Namgo falls on this day, so avoid birthday celebration and taking your baby for the first time outside your home is not favorable. Bumdong or empty waste is at north direction, so avoid all important activities, especially funeral procession while facing north.
And this is also again my another feeling, is we need to really think about these teachings. Personally think and make sense, not just simply repeating and following somebody. Sometimes I do see this trend in myself and in the case of many people, that we simply follow somebody. If somebody asks us your question, then we have no answer. ये आप क्यों कर रहे हैं मुझे पता नहीं, ऐसा कहा गया है, you know. So, you know, in general and especially in today's world, Dharma has to make sense. Buddhism has to make sense. Now when I say Buddhism has to make sense, I am not at all thinking about diluting the Buddha's teaching. We must not dilute the Buddha's teaching, but make it understandable, sensible. I think that is important. So all of us can do that exercise to make the Buddha's teaching sensible in this world. So the 4 seals are, out of the 4 seals, the first seal is called all conditioned things are impermanent. Okay, now we need to remember these 4 seals after attending this teaching. Otherwise it's no use, attending teaching then forgetting completely. You see, we need to remember these 4 seals and then think more and then relate it to our own life and try to practice it. If we are able to do that, then I think it will be really good. So all conditioned things are impermanent. All contaminated things are suffering. All phenomena are selfless and emptiness. And transcendence of suffering is peace or nirvana. These are the 4 seals. These are the 4 seals. Now these 4 seals are taught. Again, these 4 seals are taught to help us get liberated from samsara, get liberated from suffering. Because our ordinary habit and tendency is to cling just to the opposite of these 4 things. Buddha taught these 4 seals because he found that we are suffering because we have what is known as the 4 perverted ways of seeing things. 4 mistaken ways of seeing things. That means what is impure or unclean, we as an ordinary person tend to see that clean. What is unclean, we see it clean, and therefore we develop attachment, then get problem. Now we need to think about this, how this is true. In our own daily life experience, we can think that. The Buddha says we are ordinary people, just like the fly. जहाँ जहाँ गंदगी है वहीं दौड़ता है. Wherever there is a dirt, the flies run towards it and then get stuck there and dies there. So we run towards what is unclean as clean. Now we need to think about this. I have nothing much to say. How far this is true, we need to think. If this is true, and if you do not want suffering, then try to lessen that clinging. अब ऐसे क्या चीज़ है? What is unclean? क्या क्या है? जिसको हमने clean देख करके उसके पीछे दौड़ रहे क्या है? We need to figure that out. So many things. No need to point about other people, just point about yourself, Just take one example. This is not the complete example. Even if you take example of just your body, is that very clean? Not clean. If it is clean, then why do we have to wash every day? The fact that we need to wash it every day means unclean. Leave it for a short time, few days, don't wash, it will start smelling. Smell will be horrible, you see. But we develop so much claiming, मेरा शरीर है, so much grasping. उसके लिए आपको क्या क्या नहीं करना पड़ता है ना? There's so many things you need to do now for this body, because you see this unclean body as clean. And what is impermanent as permanent. And we have this again habit of seeing what is impermanent as permanent. What is impermanent as permanent? Now look at this, the trend of the whole world. The trend of the whole world. Everybody is thinking about living here in this world forever. If I ask, people will say, no, I'm not planning. I know I'm going to die, But that is not how we live our life. If you look about the preparations done by different nations, different families, different individuals. All the wrongdoings that we do because we never think I'm going to die one day. You are preparing and preparing, thinking, look at the ancient forts where the kings lived, they made it very strong, like the Chinese Great Wall, or many forts that you see in India and everywhere, you see. First, the fort itself is very strong, then there is like big barricade, and then an army standing ready to shoot the so-called enemy coming from outside. So with that plan, preparation, you plan to live inside that fort forever. Even in the case of ordinary people like us, we have made a kind of fort around ourselves. In our small house, small room, that is our fort. Planning. मुझे ये चाहिए, वो चाहिए, I need this, I need that. जितना भी, whatever is coming in the market, I need to this, I need to have this. Planning to live. Never thinking about going to die one day. So what is the problem? The problem is, in reality you are going to die. Not only you are going to die, but nobody knows when you are going to die. Just yesterday in Dharamsala, one Tibetan, young, Tibetan staff, he just passed away like that, heart attack or something.